Nobody saw this coming. Heart-shattering news about Cardi B and Stef Diggs. It all began on a quiet Tuesday morning, quiet for everyone except Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. For weeks, fans had felt something strange behind the smiles, the matching outfits, and the cute family posts. Something was off. But nobody, not even their closest friends, was prepared for the moment everything shattered. Cloud with rain, a storm behind closed doors. Cardi had been unusually quiet online, posting only old videos and filtered photos. Meanwhile, Stefon looked tense during interviews, smiling mechanically whenever someone mentioned family. The truth? They were carrying a burden so heavy, so devastating, that speaking it aloud felt like admitting defeat. But the storm reached breaking point when they walked into the private section of Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan at 6:47 a.m. No entourage. No glam. No smiles. Just pain. Broken heart, the doctor's words that destroyed them. For hours, they sat side by side in silence, hands shaking but never letting go. Cardi's nails dug into Stefon's palm, tears slipping down her cheek even before the diagnosis came in. When the doctor finally walked in, his expression said everything. "I'm so sorry. We need to talk." Cardi froze. Stefon felt his chest collapse. The room suddenly felt too small. The doctor explained slowly, gently, but every word hit like a hammer. Their baby, sweet, fragile, tiny, was dealing with a rapid and unexpected medical complication far more severe than previously known. Something nobody predicted. Something that changed everything. Cardi let out a cry so raw and piercing that nurses outside stopped in their tracks. Stefon stood up and immediately collapsed to his knees. Loudly crying, "Face Cardi's breakdown, why is this happening to us?" Cardi could barely breathe. Stefon tried to hold her, but he was falling apart too. She kept repeating through tears. "I prayed. I tried everything. Why my baby? Why us?" Her voice cracked. Her hands shook uncontrollably. She wasn't the superstar. She wasn't the tough Bronx girl. She wasn't the performer, the rapper, the entertainer. She was just a mother. A mother breaking into pieces. Stefon held her face, tears streaming down his own. "We're gonna fight. I don't care what it takes, we're not giving up." Locked the secret they tried to keep from fans. For 2 weeks, they had known their child was unwell. But the latest update? It was worse, way worse, than they ever imagined. A rare condition. Progressing surprisingly fast. A condition affecting breathing and heart function. They didn't want the world to know yet. They didn't want pity. They didn't want noise. But the pain became impossible to hide. Cardi's sudden silence. Stefon missing team practices. Their cancelled plans. Their emotional distance. Now fans understood. They were fighting a battle most people couldn't survive. Broken heart, Stefon breaks down in the hallway. While Cardi rested in a private room, Stefon walked out into the hallway, leaning against the wall, sliding down until he was sitting on the cold tile floor. This was Stefon Diggs, the strong, confident NFL star, reduced to a trembling man trying to keep himself from screaming. He kept whispering. "Please, not my son. Please." A nurse walked by and silently placed a hand on his shoulder. No words. Just understanding. Speech balloon, the phone call that made everything worse. Cardi's sister Hennessy FaceTimed her, excited and smiling, thinking it was a normal day. But when Cardi answered, her face swollen from hours of sobbing, Hennessy froze. "Cardi, what happened?" Cardi broke again, unable to speak. Stefon took the phone and said quietly. "It's the baby, it's really bad." Hennessy burst into tears. Even through the phone, the pain was too much to bear. Broken heart, Cardi finally speaks out, "My heart is bleeding." Later that night, Cardi posted an Instagram story, just a black screen with trembling white text. "I'm not okay. My heart is bleeding. Please pray for my baby." The internet exploded. Fans panicked. Celebrities reached out privately. Millions of messages flooded her DMs. Nobody expected this. Nobody saw this coming. Cloud with rain, the heart-shattering decision they must now make. Doctors gave them two options. Two heartbreaking, unimaginable paths. Both involved long-term treatments. Both involved risks. Both would require Cardi and Stefan to completely reorganize their lives. Cardi stared at the doctor through tears. "Just tell me what gives my baby the best chance. I don't care what it costs." Stefan nodded firmly. "We'll do anything." But the doctor's silence afterward terrified them. Because anything might still not be enough. Red Heart, their final moment before the surgery. Before their baby was taken for emergency intervention, Cardi held the little one in her arms, crying into a tiny blanket. Stefan stood behind her, hands on her shoulders, head bowed. They whispered prayers together. Promises. Hopes. Fears. "Stay with us. We love you. We're right here." Their tears soaked the blanket. It was the most devastating moment of their lives. Hourglass not done, fans wait. Hearts heavy. The baby was wheeled away. Cardi fell into Stefan's arms. Stefan held her tightly, refusing to let go. The entire hospital hallway could feel it. The weight of their love. Their fear. Their hope. Their heartbreak. The internet is still waiting. Millions of fans. Millions of prayers. And Cardi and Stefan? They sit in that cold hospital waiting room, holding hands, crying quietly, praying their child pulls through. Because right now, nothing else matters. Here is a very long, heart-shattering, internet-breaking fictional story based on your title. It's dramatic, emotional, full of twists, and crafted for maximum YouTube engagement energy. Nobody saw this coming. Heart-shattering news about Cardi B and Stef Diggs. The entire internet woke up to pure chaos when a single blurry photo leaked at 5:12 a.m., a picture of Stefan Diggs sitting alone in the back seat of a black SUV, head buried in his hands, looking completely defeated. Within minutes, hashtags exploded. Hashtag pray for Cardi. Hashtag what happened to Stef. Hashtag Cardi Stef update. Fans didn't know it yet, but this was only the beginning of a heartbreaking chain of events that would leave millions speechless. The silence that scared everyone. For the past week, Cardi B had been unusually quiet online, no funny rants, no glam selfies, no studio teasers. Nothing. And Stef? He skipped practice twice. Something coaches said hasn't happened in years. People speculated, but nobody had answers. Sources close to them said Cardi had been crying non-stop, while Stef had been barely sleeping, barely eating. Something devastating was happening behind closed doors. The video that broke the internet. At 11:47 a.m., TMZ dropped a 5-second clip that shattered fans' hearts. Cardi B was seen exiting a medical building in New York, sunglasses on, face swollen, and moving slowly like someone carrying emotional pain too heavy to hide. Behind her was her sister Hennessy, holding Cardi's hand tightly. Stef Diggs followed a few steps behind them, but he wasn't hiding his emotions. He looked completely destroyed. His eyes were red. His jaw was clenched. His hands were shaking. This wasn't a couple fighting. This wasn't a breakup. This was something deeper. Darker. Final. The heart-shattering truth comes out. Hours later, a close friend finally spoke to People magazine. And the news left the entire world in tears. Cardi B and Stefan Diggs just received the most devastating medical update about their baby. It's something no parent should ever hear. The friend refused to say more, but insiders put the pieces together. Cardi and Stef had been preparing for a beautiful new chapter, decorating a nursery, choosing names, planning a soft, private baby shower. Everything was ready. Everything was perfect. Until yesterday. The doctors reportedly delivered news so traumatic that Cardi B collapsed into Stef's arms and screamed, "This can't be happening, not again, please God no." Stef held her the whole time, crying with her, trying to be strong but failing. Fans reading the report said they broke down in tears too. The emotional moment Stef couldn't control. Around 4 p.m., a leaked audio clip surfaced from someone who passed by the couple's SUV outside the clinic. Stef Diggs could be heard whispering, voice shaking. "I would trade everything I have, my career, my life, if it would save our baby." Then came a heartbreaking sound. Cardi sobbing uncontrollably in the background. The internet froze. Nobody expected this level of raw pain from a couple who always seemed strong and playful together. Cardi's final message to fans. At 7:52 p.m., Cardi B posted a simple black screen on Instagram with one sentence. "Keep us in your prayers." No emojis. No jokes. No extra text. Just that. Within 10 minutes, the post had 2.8 million likes and over 600,000 comments from fans, celebrities, teammates, and friends. Everyone could feel the weight of her words. The moment Stef spoke publicly, and broke down. Stefon Diggs finally stepped outside at 9:14 p.m. to address waiting reporters. He looked exhausted, eyes swollen, voice cracked, shoulders slumped. He tried to speak normally, but only got out, "Please, respect our privacy. We're just praying right now. That's all we can do." Then he stopped talking. He covered his face. And he cried. Right there. In front of cameras. In front of the world. NFL fans, hip-hop fans, and even people who didn't follow celebrities felt that moment deep in their chest. The heartbreaking decision they now face. Sources close to the couple revealed one last painful detail late in the evening. Cardi and Stef are facing a life-changing decision no parent wants to make. Doctors are giving them options, but none of them are easy. It's tearing them apart emotionally. Cardi, who has always been a fighter, reportedly told doctors, "I don't care what it takes. I'm not giving up on my baby." Stef is standing by her, constantly holding her hand, staying awake all night, talking to specialists, calling family, doing everything he can. But the fear in their hearts is real. And the future is suddenly uncertain. The internet's reaction, millions united in prayer. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X, every platform was flooded with people sending prayers, making fan edits, and sharing their favorite moments of Cardi and Stef together. Some fans posted, "We don't care about the drama. We just want the baby to be okay. This is the saddest news of 2025. My chest hurts for them." Others wrote long messages about miscarriage, infant health battles, and medical trauma, sharing their own stories to show Cardi and Stef they're not alone. What happens next? Nobody knows. Doctors are running more tests. Cardi is surrounded by close family. Stef refuses to leave her side for even a minute. This is a moment that will either bring them closer than ever, or become a memory so painful it changes them forever. For now, the world waits anxiously. Praying. Hoping. Holding their breath. Because this is the kind of heartbreak no one, not fans, not friends, not even Cardi and Stef themselves, ever saw coming.
쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주행 비행 신비한 새